for ludicrous speed.
Okay, my dear Greg Saunders.
Gregory.
Eagle looking great, you're dope.
Greg Saunders.
Greg Saunders.
Greg Saunders!
Wow! Hey, great!
Look at it.
We interrupt this sound file to bring you a terrifying announcement.
Are you aware that you're leaking coolant at an alarming rate?
Show us the skills that have made you a media darling.
Well, I'm glad we got all that out in the open.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Saturday Morning Stateline Show.
Oh, this could be a fun show. This could be a real fun show. Oh, this is wonderful. How you doing, everybody? What I meant to say was, do people in the Kool-Aid universe need to buy Kool-Aid Man insurance in case he destroys their house? I'm just curious. Do you think that, Tom? Oh, let's see. I said, do you think Kool-Aid? Do you think people who live in the Kool-Aid universe need to buy Kool-Aid Man insurance in case their house gets destroyed?
Yeah.
I'm thinking so. I have no clue how this is going to sound to people today, Tom.
Sounded okay to me, but yeah, on your end, I don't know.
Trying a bunch of new things today, but what's affecting our sound has nothing to do with what I'm trying new today. This is something that your computer's being goofy about, not mine.
Well, like I said, I think my cat may have laid on my keyboard, and I noticed when I opened it up this morning about 7 o'clock, I had different settings. It had a different look to it. So okay. I was going to try and do a reset, the system reset where you go back 2 or 3 days or something like that. There wasn't enough time to do it. Okay. So,
well, I'm very curious to see if anyone has any comments on our sound quality today, to see if we're even being heard okay. I think I've got you all right, but I don't know. Well, I guess one way I could test it is jumping over here on Facebook, and we're doing the double streaming again today. So we're on YouTube Live, we're on Facebook Live. No one can see you on Facebook. So let me just see if it'll let me go to my page. And okay, if I jump on here and unmute it, I don't know. Well, I guess one way I could test it is say hello, Tom. Jumping over here on Facebook.
Does that work?
And we're doing the double streaming again today. I know I can be heard. That's good. So we're on YouTube Live. We're on Facebook Live. No one can see you on Facebook. So let me just see. The delay is just so long that, yeah, it's like a minute-long delay or something going on. Well, I guess one way I could test it. Here we go. Is say hello, Tom. Jumping over here on. Yeah, it's pretty light. It's pretty light, but I think it'll be doable, I guess. I'll just keep the microphone down here by the phone.
I'll have it figured out by next week. I'll have it figured out as soon as we get off the air. Like I said, just has a different look to it. So I'll figure it out. It's
kind of hilarious because the video, there's no delay between the video that I'm seeing on my monitor and the sound that's coming through my phone, which is a wonderful surprise. I thought for sure this is not going to work because there's going to be a goofy delay between what you're saying and when it looks like you're saying it, but it's working. So
movie or something.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Okay, so let me. I tried a whole bunch of new configurations in my studio because I was trying to work on my lights, and then as you can see today, I think there's a lot less glare. I've diffused the light in front of me, so it's not so glaring on my face. We got a bunch of people watching us on Facebook Live this morning. Hello, good morning, Facebook Livers.
Hello.
The reason you're only seeing me is because we're on YouTube Live, and that's where you're going to see the actual Zoom stream. The Zoom stream is not on Facebook. I can't do them both at the same time. So if you're joining us on Facebook, please join us on YouTube. We're trying to drag y'all kicking and screaming over to our YouTube channel to subscribe and get the notifications over there. So you know when we go live. It's 8 o'clock every Saturday morning. That's not going to be a surprise. But it's nice to see folks joining us over on YouTube. And Linda says, I sound good, but you sound like you're calling in from a spaceship, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Ground control to Major Tom.
That's right. Well, at least you can hear me. That's the important part. That's good. Now we know we at least have that part of the thing.
You got to do this one. You got to do this one time, Tom. Just at least say this once. Houston, we have a problem.
Houston, we have a problem. Yeah.
Which, speaking of Houston, J.J. Watt.
I didn't know I'm not on a spaceship.
We don't know.
This could be my spaceship. I could be on planet Mars right now. I could be.
You could be in a geodesic dome in the middle of the Arizona desert. We have no idea.
I might be. I might be. If that were the case, I'd be like outside of the house part of it, and I would be looking up at the sunshine. So,
Well, again, there is a link to our YouTube channel on the Facebook stream, and we're asking, begging, please join us over there because we want to have you see everyone participating. Even though Tom sounds different, he looks the same. So join us over there. That looks good. Okay. Some of the things to touch on today before we get too far. It is the 13th day of February, the year 2021. It's the latest it's ever been in the history of mankind. Yes, yes, yes. And it's also the last day of the Paws Furball Virtual Art and Booze Auction. So if you haven't done so yet, check out the Furball auction page. We've got, we had that link up on our Facebook page. At 1 o'clock today, they're announcing the winners. They're the band Minimal. Greg DiCarlo from the band Minimal is going to be announcing all the auction winners starting at 1 o'clock on the Paws Humane Society Rockford Facebook page today. So still a chance to win what you want on their auction, but you got to get there now and get your bid in. You know, up your bid now, or you're gonna lose it out.
I missed hearing Minimal this year.
I know, they are so good.
3-4 years, Minimal's been the attraction, and no Paws banquet this year, so no Minimal.
Save the dates, mark your calendar, Saturday, February 12th, 2022. That'll be the next Furball, and Minimal will be there. I'm planning on being there. I bet Tom will probably be there too. So.
Oh yeah, I will be.
We're 364 days away, Tom. 1 year from yesterday. If I guess it's a big announcement as far as the NFL goes that J.J. Watt's been released by the Houston Texans. You think he's going to come to the Packers?
You know, he played at Wisconsin. It would seem like a natural fit, and I believe he is from Wisconsin. Is that not correct?
He's grew up in Wisconsin, Ashwaubenon, I think.
Okay, there you go. So it would make sense to do that. I would love it. Still got a couple of good years left.
His brothers are both on the Steelers currently, right?
They are, yeah, Derek and TJ.
So it sounds like the Steelers might make a play for him. It also sounds like the Vikings might make a play for him. That would suck. Don't go to the Vikings, JJ. Whatever you do, don't go to the Vikings.
Go to the Colts. Go anywhere but the Vikings.
Yeah.
Or the Bears.
Right. Right.
Bears, a lot of people that I've been talking to, they keep lamenting the fact that they might go after Carson Wentz. They're like, oh my God, I hope we don't get Carson Wentz.
Something's wrong with Carson Wentz. It could be a coaching thing. I don't know, but he was such a great player for a couple of years and then something happened. So
I think he was a good player on a very good team and a fairly well coached team. Doug Peterson's a good coach. But the problem is Doug Peterson's not a good coach for Carson Wentz. I think he couldn't teach him. It was just a bad mix, you know.
Yeah. Well, Doug Peterson's gone now.
What's that?
They let Doug Peterson go.
Oh, did they?
They did. The Eagles let him go. So.
You're right. That happened a few weeks ago. That's right. I forgot about that. But, you know, the Tom Brady thing. Everybody thinks it was Bill Belichick. Some people thought it was Tom Brady. Just because Tom Brady goes to Tampa and wins the Super Bowl doesn't necessarily mean that it's all Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. Well, he was just the lucky guy that had Tom Brady quarterback. No, Tom Brady learned a lot from Bill Belichick. Yeah. Tom Brady is probably the greatest of all time, and his record shows that you can't really argue that. It doesn't mean that Bill Belichick is nothing without Tom Brady. It doesn't mean it's the other way around either. The difference is Tom Brady goes to a team with a coach who understood that Tom Brady is the greatest of all time, and we just need to let him do his thing. Bruce Arians said it himself. He said, look, I realized week 7, week 8, I was trying to coach Tom Brady when really he just needs to be able to coach the team. Tom Brady needs to be able to do his thing. And that's what the turnaround is. So Bruce Arians, God bless him, he's a pretty doggone good coach. Tom Brady has been the recipient of 2 really good coaches.
Yeah.
2 really good systems. Being able to use his own brain, his own athletic ability. And I think that's the big difference. Belichick, you know, whatever you think about Belichick, whether you like him or not, still a really good coach. He'll be there again. He just got to get a better quarterback.
Who's going to be the Patriots quarterback next season? It's not going to be Cam. They let Cam Newton go. They're not going to re-sign him.
Yeah. There are a few of them out there. There's enough to pick from. Maybe you go back out and get Jimmy Garoppolo. You know.
Wouldn't that be interesting if he went back to the Patriots?
Yeah.
I don't know. Could happen. It could happen.
Could happen. Be Carson Wentz?
Could be Carson Wentz. I don't.
Could be Ryan
Fitzpatrick. I heard that when they told Stafford he was going to be traded, he said there's one team I don't want to go to.
Patriots.
It was the Patriots.
Yeah, because they think Matt Patricia is back with the Patriots. Is that right?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. I heard that, and I thought that was kind of interesting.
Well, the NFL offseason is going to be interesting. The draft is, when's the draft? April?
It's usually April, yeah.
So still some time for some lineups, some changes, some trades and such to happen before then. I think day 1 of the draft is going to be a really, really interesting day. A lot of players. I think some blockbuster trades will still be made.
I think you're right. And here's the thing that bothered me the most about the Packers this year. You go out and get Jordan Love, who never even suited up for a game this year. Not one. He was never even in uniform. So that was a completely wasted number 1 pick. Completely wasted first round pick, I should say. So what they did with basically not even having a first round pick is phenomenal. They should have won that game. They should have won that game. And I think excuse me. I think they could have beaten Kansas City. I think you could have easily had Green Bay as your Super Bowl champ. They lost out on 2 or 3 Super Bowls over the years. But if you think about it, as long as they do their due diligence in the draft this year, and maybe go out and get a couple of players, J.J. Watt for one, Maybe go out and get another wide receiver. There are wide receivers out there. Go out and do that to bolster that. Then go get maybe another linebacker or something. Because the Packers linebacking crew, really kind of a bunch of no-names. Chris Barnes, who's heard of Chris Barnes? Preston and Zadarius Smith are hybrids. They are linebackers, but they're hybrids. They line up a lot as defensive ends. So getting a true linebacker like a Blake Martinez if they let go, that's kind of what they need. So they need a linebacker, another dominant defensive lineman, and probably another offensive lineman. Bulaga, David Bakhtiari, I don't know. He had an ACL injury. That's not easily recovered from. So go out and get another offensive lineman and then another receiver. And I think they're going to be okay.
Got to get Bakhtiari healthy. So yeah, hopefully they can make that work. And yeah, that's how the Buccaneers rolled through those last two games. They were facing teams with dinged up offensive lines, and their defense just owned them at the line. It was
and yet a 31-25 loss that could have came down to Green Bay's last possession. Green Bay should have won the game. I have talked to so many people, and I don't want to sit here and rehash what has already happened because what's done is done. Tampa Bay played they're a good football team. They're a great football team. I don't want to take anything away from them. But what bothered me is they let them play the whole game. They let them play. Devontae Adams got mauled on the going for a touchdown, on the goal line. And you could see in the background where one of the 10 big guys of a Packer lineman. Two calls that should have been called on one play, neither of them called. They let them play. Yeah. And then the last play, offensive play essentially for Tampa, where Kevin King gets caught for that hold. Yes, it was a hold. Yeah. Nobody's arguing. But now they're all of a sudden going to call it. They called one penalty the whole time on Tampa. One penalty. And that was a helmet. The helmet that was obviously God never went out. So I don't know what else could have been done. The Packers played a good game. They had 3 interceptions with Tom Brady. And Rodgers did throw one. But, relatively well-played game by Green Bay. The defense wasn't bad. Offense was solid. The outcome should have been different.
Yeah, it was what do they say? The Packers have had 6 MVPs in the last 20 years and only 2 championships to show for it.
Yeah.
Which is, sad.
Well, each one of those MVPs did win the Super Bowl. Both of those did.
24 years, 20-something years of more than that.
Well, Bob's first year was, I believe it was 1991.
Yeah.
I think it was when Mikowski went out. So we've had 30 years now.
So, 30 years of couple of the most amazing quarterbacks the NFL has ever seen, and only 2 world championships to show for it, which, that's pretty sad.
Hall of Fame, 2 first ballot Hall of Famers. And hands down Hall of Fame. Not even a, I don't think there's anybody out there that's going to say, well, Aaron Rodgers, I don't know. I didn't want to put him in. I don't think you're going to get that. When you talk about, there's very few ever unanimous. But.
No. The class for NFL Hall of Fame looks like this is the year Peyton Manning goes in, and then Charles Woodson got in, but not Leroy Butler. He did not get in.
Yeah. He was. We in Green Bay, we Packer fans, we know all about Leroy Butler, but he's not a household name.
Yeah, he's a Packer Hall of Famer.
He was the Lambeau Leap.
He did, and
he was the first one that did the Lambeau Leap.
The fact that he won a Super Bowl and was a standout player and initiated the Lambeau Leap, also thanks to Reggie White on that play.
Yeah.
Leroy should still be in the NFL Hall of Fame. So hopefully he gets in next year.
I think you could make the case for that. Remember George Kuntz?
Kuntz, yeah.
Well, they call him the doctor of defense he actually has a doctorate in education. He does. He went and got a doctorate in education. I know that because I watched when the Packers were in season. I watched, I think it's called Live from the Locker Room or something like that with Blake Griffin, Burke Griffin, and George Clooney.
Cool.
One of those weekly local Packer shows they have.
That's cool.
So,
that's
carried
fun.
on the CW here or something. It's done now because the season's done. But,
Yeah.
but I watched it. It was pretty cool. They call him the Doctor of Defense. Literally the doctor, figuratively and literally. So that was pretty cool.
Sweet. Well, a lot of times during the show, I'm picking up my phone and looking at things, and I really shouldn't be doing that today since I'm using my phone as your voice.
Yeah.
So post show is when I'll be posting Joann's pet of the week when she gets that to us from Paws. She already texted it to me, but I don't want to mess with that right now. And when we do get Joann on the screen, Tom, you're not going to be able to hear her, I don't think. She will probably be able to hear you. So I guess we're going to have to play a little bit of musical chairs and just kind of hold up when it's time for chatting during Joann's segment coming up. I do have a big number of the week this week for you, and I'm not even going to bother with the drum roll. I'm just going to go for it. Big number of the week this week is 200 million. 200 million. Is it million or billion? I gotta relook at my numbers here because where'd it go? Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, 200 million. The answer is cars or cameras. Cars or cameras.
Yeah.
So we will give you
write
the
it
answer.
down, but don't forget.
So we'll get to you and Joann a little bit later on with the big number of the week. Got some stuff to share with you via SMS info. This is probably going to look horrible, but I also want to try this week. I made a new background, and it's not here. Where'd it go?
I don't know.
I made a brand new background. Let me see if I just need to upload it again. It's probably on here. There it is. Right there. Open that. Okay, so if I shut this off, is that going to look now? It's not going to look any better either, is it? If I shut that off. Let's see if I can switch this around. Go back to none. Go back to background. There we go. That's not too terrible. SMS info.
You look fine like you go. That's all right.
Still a work in progress, I'm telling you.
200 million, was it cars or what else?
Cars or cameras?
Cameras, that's right.
Cars or cameras. Let's see. I need to minimize that. I need to minimize that, and hopefully this will make me look a little bit better. Not much. Not much. Having fun with camera tricks. Okay, so it is a wind chill warning that's in effect starting tonight, going till noon tomorrow. Wind chills 30 to 35 below zero, starting this evening around 6 and going all the way through noon on Sunday. We're talking Kane County, Boone County, DeKalb, Winnebago, Lee, McHenry, and Ogle counties, all of here in northern Illinois. It's going to be a very, very, very cold 48 hours here, especially from 6 tonight till noon tomorrow with the wind chills. So don't go outside if you don't have to. I mentioned earlier the Paws Fur Ball, the virtual art and booze auction, comes to an end this morning. They're going to announce the winners at 1 today on their Facebook page, live with Greg DiCarlo from the band Minimal. Very, very cool. First ever virtual art and booze auction, different local artwork, a variety of beverages. There's even a couple of wine racks, yes, made by yours truly here. There's the small hanging wine racks that fit like 4 or 5 bottles. And they're up for auction on the Paws website right now. We've got a link on our Facebook page. Want to congratulate Nicole Sadao from UltraWise. The UltraWise app won an award this past week. I think it was a $5,000 award. And anyway, she's been on the show a couple times. Congratulations to her and her team at UltraWise. Miss Carly's right now, they're in desperate need of clean blankets and towels and socks and gloves and hats and coats. And our friends at Edible Arrangements over on Spring Creek Road, they are one of the collection spots for these items until Monday. Obviously, it's bitter cold out there. People in our community need help keeping warm. If there's anything you'd like to donate to Miss Carly's, you can drop them off at Edible Arrangements, 6840 Spring Creek Road in Rockford. Just please put them in a clean bag, and they'll take it from there. You can also drop them off at Miss Carly's, which is 1125 Fifth Avenue in Rockford. Being how cold it's going to be tonight, might be a nice thing to do to drop those off today. Miss Carly's building again at 1125 Fifth Avenue in Rockford, in need of blankets and towels and socks and gloves and hats and coats. Starting tomorrow, which is Valentine's Day, guided tours through the cultural galleries of the Ethnic Heritage Museum and the historic Graham Genestra House will be available by reservation. Of course, due to COVID-19, tour sizes are limited, but they've been closed for a long time, and it's time to get that place back open again. Weekday or weekend tours are available. Give them a call, 815-962-7402. Schedule your tour at the Ethnic Heritage Museum. If you haven't been there, it is a really cool display. Different, what do they have? 6 different galleries, I think, in the museum, showing the different predominant ethnicities that have settled here in the Rockford area over the decades and over the years. So check that out if you have time.
I drive by it every day on my way to work, but I've never been in there. Sad to say, I've never been in. I'm going to have to do that once it gets a little warmer.
It's the Graham Genestra House is really cool too. Now that they've kind of refurbished that, and the staircase to upstairs is just really something awesome to see. So yeah, if you get a chance, check out the Ethnic Heritage Museum and the Graham Genestra House. You know what I still need to go and actually tour is Tinker Swiss Cottage.
Yeah,
I've been to
another one.
I've been in the gift shop. I've been in that area, but I've actually not gone through the house yet. I'm ashamed to say that because I've been here so long. It's time to do that.
Well, you've been through the gift shop and everything else, so at least that's more than most people. And I have to admit, I've not done it. I've been here all my life.
I've been on the property, just not in the house yet. Disney Plus, they added Muppet Show. All 5 seasons of Jim Henson's 1970s classic variety series, starring Kermit, Miss Piggy, and Fozzie and Gonzo. It will start streaming on February 19th. The show premiered in 1976. Had 120 episodes that came to an end in 1981. Steve Martin, Elton John, Liza Minnelli, Alice Cooper all hosted the show. Even Mark Hamill from Star Wars fame, all on The Muppet Show.
There is a great Rita Moreno was another one.
Rita Moreno.
Yeah, and she did Fever, the old Peggy Lee song.
In the fever.
Yeah, she did it. Animal is playing the drums behind her, and every time she goes Fever, and he hits the drum, she jumps. Oh my God! It brings tears to your eyes. It's so funny.
That is a classic.
I highly think you do that. Just Fever, whatever you'll get.
That's right. That'll be on Disney Plus starting on February 19th. Here's something appropriate for us, especially because we do Pause Pet of the Week every week. A Reuters Ipsos survey of 24,000 people in 23 different countries found that about 1 in 5 of adults would rather spend Valentine's Day, February 14th, with their pet than with their spouse. The French were least likely to choose their furry friend over their human companion. Only 10% took that option. But men and women were equally split over the question, would you rather spend Valentine's Day with your spouse or with your pet?
Wow.
Which, you know, I guess that's something to say about marriage in the modern times, right? And if 4 out of 5 rather choose to be with each other, that's pretty good, I think.
Yeah.
80% of marriages must be fairly healthy if they'd rather spend time with their spouse than their pet. That's not bad.
I don't necessarily think that it's that they want to spend time with their pet. They just don't want to spend time with their spouse.
That's right.
You know, I'm watching reruns of Gilligan's Island might seem better than going out to dinner with your spouse. Who knows? I don't know.
They didn't include that in the question, so that might have skewed everything.
Yeah. 98% love Gilligan.
That's right. Could be. All right, let's see. As far as real estate goes, this is awesome, Tom. Billed as possibly the skinniest house in London, a 6-foot wide home is listed for sale in London at an asking price of $1.3 million. Where do they think they are? San Francisco? It's 1,034 square feet of home. It's in 5 stories. They compare it to living like on a luxury yacht, which I guess makes sense. You're closed quarters, but everything is really awesome, really nice.
Okay, but 6 feet wide?
Roughly 6 feet wide. 5 stories tall.
You think it'd be really, really top heavy, like they sway in the wind?
Well, it's probably just like the buildings in San Francisco, where all the buildings and houses are built into each other. I mean,
yeah, like the painted ladies.
Right. It's 1,034 square feet at 1.3 million. You do the math. What's the price per square foot? I'm not that quick.
No, me neither. At
one time, the building was a hat shop, and it was converted into a home by a fashion photographer. The skinniest house in London is for sale. I'm sorry, my real estate license does not allow me to show you that house.
Yeah.
Can't get you to London.
You travel all the way to London, and then your client didn't show.
I thought I was going to have that situation. Not yesterday, Thursday. It was Thursday. I had a house showing, and the client was about 20 minutes late. And I was about ready to leave. If it had not, I got a text that said, "Oh, I'm running a little bit late. I'm on my way." Okay. Otherwise, if it wouldn't have been for that text, I'd have left. It's like you make the effort to drive out and open a house and turn on lights and check everything out, and when someone doesn't show, that's not cool. That is just not cool. All right, I'm going to try this. I don't know if it's going to work, Tom. Thursday was National Roast Day. Have you heard about National Roast Day?
No.
So Roast Day is when Wendy's just kills other corporations on their Twitter account. And I hope, I might not be able to do this. Let's see if can I focus this picture? What can I do to this picture? Image options. Oh, that's not going to work. I might have to go to the actual Wendy's page on Twitter. If you've never gone to the Wendy's page on Twitter, it's something special. They roast people all the time. And let's see. I really want to show this to you because it's pretty funny. Is that going to work? You're not going to be able to read it. It's just too small. The writing's too small. So on Thursday, a couple of the companies that Wendy's roasted includes Microsoft Bing. You know what Microsoft Bing is, right?
Sure, yeah, the Bing search engine that annoys me.
Yeah. So Wendy's.
And every time it pops up on my computer, I had to finally just say.
Well, Microsoft Bing says, "Hey, we are searching for a searing, Wendy's. Go ahead and roast us." So Wendy's says, "Congrats on being the #1 search engine site that comes up when people misspell Google." National Roast Day. Oreo Cookie says, okay, we're ready. Roast us. So Wendy says, new flavor idea, Oreo. Don't. National Roast Day.
Yeah, amen. Don't mess with my Oreo.
The two that I like the most, Outback Steakhouse says, roast us like a prime rib. So Wendy's replies to Outback and says, no rules, just microwaves. National Roast Day.
Wow.
Ooh. I wonder how much truth is there to that. And the best one I think of all, Triscuit. The real Triscuit says, go ahead and try to roast us. It's not like we haven't heard the wicker comments before. So Wendy's replies to the real Triscuit and says, rebranding sandpaper as a snack was actually genius. National Roast Day.
That's good. That's fun. Maybe I should follow him. Although I'm not on Twitter and I won't be on Twitter, so.
Yeah. Wendy's is definitely a good follow on Twitter. They know how to do it. They make fun of themselves, make fun of other things. And anyway, congratulations on another National Roast Day to Wendy's. I'm sure there's a ton more on there that you would like too if you checked them out.
You remember back in the probably late 70s, maybe middle to late 70s, they used to have something called wacky packages.
Wacky
and
packages.
They were they were spoofing all these products like Poopsie Cola. It smells like poop, stuff like that. And I can't remember all of them, but my God, they were just hilarious. Every single thing out there was fair game, and they were spoofing all of it. It was just great. It was great. I used to have a ton of them. Probably worth some money nowadays.
That might be. I did catch. I rarely watch Saturday Night Live anymore. I did catch their. Someone posted on another social platform. I think it was Instagram. Their commercial for Zillow. Did you see their Zillow skit?
Which one was it again?
On Saturday Night Live this last weekend.
Yeah. I heard about it. I didn't see it.
It was really funny. It's another one that's worth a search, worth a look. Is Saturday Night Live skit about Zillow and just how millennials now that's their dirty website. It's going to Zillow and fantasizing about these homes, which I always tell people, hey, Zillow might be nice, but you can't trust the information on Zillow. You really want to use an agent. Whether you're using me or not is not the point. The point is if you're really getting serious about home searching, Zillow's not the place. It's just not. Anyway.
Well, then, what exactly is Zillow then? Is it just an internet thing?
It's a third party. It's like Realtor.com or it's like even like Cars.com. Like I think those are third party sites that don't have any listings. They just grab listings from other companies and other, dealerships and other realtor offices and stuff, and they post them up there, which is fine, but it's, it's an advertising site. It's really not the site. It's not the listing site. So
Right.
You're going to get better information from a realtor who's a licensed realtor who can send you listings from the listing service. That's what you want to do if you're getting serious about your home shopping. Couple of quick randoms here for you this week before we get over to Joann. We've got Stanford sociologist Michael Rosenfeld. He's found that 40% of current U.S. couples meet online. I remember 22-ish years ago, 20-some years ago when I met the first couple I met that said they met online. And I was like, that's kind of a novelty. Well, it's not a novelty anymore. People meet online all the time. We have couples who are friends who have met on Match.com, who met on Tinder, who met on OkCupid, stuff like that. And it's like, really? Okay, I'm glad that worked for you, because they seem very happy. And they, you know, the Match.com couple, they I think they met and married within like 6 months. But yeah, it just worked. It just worked for them. And I was like, that's awesome. That's awesome.
I just heard a couple very close to us. They met and married in 32 days at eHarmony.
Out of the Army.
No, eHarmony.
eHarmony. Oh, eHarmony. Okay.
Out of eHarmony.
Well, and I tell you what, that's in part, that's trusting the information that was put into the app. And then obviously if you date a few times and you meet some family and friends and you start to realize, okay, I think this information was accurate. This is cool.
I don't think you need 6 months or a year or 2 or 5 years. I think if you know right off, then you know. And if all of the core parts are there, the rest of it's going to fall into place. I know that sounds really oversimplistic, but think about it. Match it up against any relationship you've ever had. You usually know in the first 10 minutes, first hour, if you're going to be a lasting friend or if something special is going to come out of it.
Have you, I know we talked about this briefly once before, but have you checked out the show Married at First Sight?
No, I can't bring myself to do that.
Some of these reality shows are just...
It's not that I'm opposed to any of it or anything like that. It just doesn't appeal to me, and I'd rather watch Game Show Network or something.
Well, let me tell you, and I'm gonna go ahead and switch this out because this is getting goofy. Married at First Sight. Some of the seasons are available for free. Some of the seasons you have to buy, but the first couple seasons were a little bit rough as they kind of worked out the kinks of what they do on the show. But a couple of the couples that didn't have that spark of attraction at the altar and yet have made it now for a number of years, it's kind of interesting. You see how, yeah, you know what, the interests and the things that you like and your similar humor liking, stuff like that, it really can work. There's a gal named Jamie, I forget what her husband's name was. Jamie, and anyway, they're one of the first couples that she just did not have wasn't attracted to him at all at the altar. And she went ahead and married him anyway, because it's Married at First Sight. I mean, that's kind of what you sign up for. And then after I think it was 6 weeks or something, they could choose to stay together and keep working on it, or just choose to basically annul the marriage and move on with their lives. And by the end of the 5 or 6 weeks, she realized why they paired them up, why they were so compatible, and started to realize, you know what, he's not an ugly guy. I wasn't immediately attracted to him. And now that I see what a great guy he is, I am attracted to him, and they're happily married. And I think they're on their 3rd kid now, a few years later. So it can happen. And now that we're nearing, in America, we're nearing 50% of U.S. couples meeting online. It's about 40% right now. So that's kind of wild. The DualSense PlayStation 5 controllers that have recently come out, they have 40,000 tiny PlayStation symbols embedded in the control handles. I haven't seen one, so I have no idea what they look like, but 40,000, that might be too tiny to even see. Speaking of dating apps, Bumble is a new dating app now valued at $14 billion. It went public this last week. Their co-founder, CEO Whitney Wolfe Herd, is the youngest female founder to take a U.S. company public. She is only 31 years old. She is, I believe, now a certifiable billionaire.
Wow.
Yeah, way to go, Whitney. The Weeknd, the guy who did the halftime show for the Super Bowl, spent $7 million on top of the NFL's $13 million budget to make the Super Bowl halftime show exactly as he wanted. 8 of the top 10 trending Spotify songs within 12 hours of the game were his. And the first, 3 or 4 songs of the halftime show, I didn't recognize at all. And then the last few I did, but it was sure.
I didn't hear him because I hit the mute button.
Did you? Are you kidding? Or are you telling?
Yeah, I had a couple of friends over, and I said, "All right, guys, do you want to watch the Super Bowl halftime show, or do you want me to mute it?" They're like, "Mute it, everybody, mute it." Okay, I had no problem with that because that's really what I wanted to do.
I won't say that I hated the show. I mean, he's no Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars had a kick butt show when he did halftime show for Super Bowl. And of course, Prince has been brought up as one of the best ever. But yeah, he did a whole thing where he was like lost in a maze of golden lights. And that was really goofy, odd, straight. I didn't quite get that. But the last couple songs, his biggest hit from the summer, I thought were pretty cool.
I can't feel my face when I'm with you.
That's one of them. That was one of them. And then the blinding light. I forget what. Anyway.
Not a big fan.
Anyway, that song I like. But he spent apparently $7 million of his own money to make the show the way exactly that he wanted. So there are your randoms for this week. We're gonna see if Joann can get in on this thing here and join us now and give us our little show through. While she's logging in and turning on her camera and microphone, have you seen anything, Tom, about the rumors of Aaron Rodgers being engaged?
I did. I heard about that. Engaged to not Olivia Munn, obviously, but another actress that he's been dating.
Her name is Shailene Woodley, and she was the lead actress in the Divergent movie series, which I read the books and I liked them, and I saw the movies and they were okay. Yeah, I don't know that they've been together very long, but apparently Aaron Rodgers, 37-year-old Aaron Rodgers, is potentially engaged to 29-year-old Shailene Woodley, the actress, according to People magazine. Joann, did you hear Tom speak just a minute ago?
His speech?
Did you hear him talking?
His speech? Are you hearing me?
I am hearing you now, yeah. I don't think
you'll
be able to hear Tom at all today.
Tom needs to say something so I can hear him. I was hearing him talk about Aaron Rodgers being engaged. So I guess, yes, I am hearing him.
Okay.
It became football and I turned off my hearing.
Tom is seeing your lips move, but Tom, you're not hearing her talk at all, are you? No, okay. So
that could be fun.
Due to our technical situation today, Joann, we're not going to be able to chat back and forth between you and Tom, unfortunately. I mean, I could try. There's one thing I could try, but I'm pretty sure it's going to feedback nasty. I'm tempted to try it though. Let's.
I can see Tom.
This could be really bad.
Hi, Tom. Now Greg has disappeared. Oh, he's back.
Here's mine now. Could you hear me, Joann?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? No.
I can hear you. Yeah, that's cool. The problem, Joann, is that my computer somehow got reset. My audio, something wrong with my audio. So I'm going to factory reset it.
Well, you know how much trouble I have with my iPad, so.
Yeah, see, yours is usually a battery.
And I have a dog behind me. Come here.
This might actually work.
It looks like I have a wagging tail.
It does.
I'm home today.
Well, your background is beautiful. Is that something you made?
Yes, that's my quilt. My Valentine quilt hung over a bird cage.
That is beautiful.
I didn't wear red today.
I don't usually. Can you see it? Can you see it now? I couldn't figure it out. I spent more time trying to figure it out, and the poor parrot behind the quilt is kind of confused.
Why can't I be on?
So I have to work today, so I didn't go in.
Okay.
To the.
Well,
Are we, anybody hearing each other?
Yep, we're hearing you. The auction comes to an end this morning. Do you know what?
It's over.
It off?
I thought it, come on. I'm sorry. We got a dog that Jorge has to be sitting on my lap whenever I'm anywhere.
Love Jorge.
The auction was done at noon on the 12th. So since today is the 13th, it's over.
Oh,
and I think they're announcing the winners at 1 o'clock.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I gave the wrong information then. I knew it. They were announcing the winners today at 1, but I didn't know when the last auction items were going to be able to be bid upon.
Yeah, I thought it ended at midnight on the 12th.
Okay. All righty. So that's done. And plus there is some extended bidding.
I don't know if it did as well as they had hoped. I haven't heard the final. I do know that your wine racks did people bid on them, so that's good.
Awesome. Okay. All right. So the winners will be announced at 1 o'clock today on the Facebook page for Pause. Greg DiCarlo of the band Minimal is going to be doing that. So good luck. Good luck to everybody there. You shared with me something I can't share on Facebook yet because my phone is being used for Tom's voice.
Yes, it's the Lonely Hearts Club. It's Tess. She's the longest cat, the longest resident of the shelter, however you want to put that. So she's got a special today. They're taking $14 off her adoption fee for anyone who adopts her. So she's a sweet cat. She's just been there a long time.
So check
It
out
was Amber before, right?
So if you're,
This is how
pardon?
Amber.
Yeah, Amber was there over a year when she was adopted. So
Yeah.
and that was just within the last couple of weeks, right? Amber was adopted.
I thought she was adopted around Christmas time or right after Christmas.
I know there was another one that was just recently adopted that was there for a very long time. So that was very happy to see.
Yeah.
The virtual art and booze auction.
And we have taken,
our
listeners, I know they're all interested in Pause, but I would like the Facebook page and also check out our website. We've got a new person doing our website and it's been really updated. So check it out. And it's more user friendly than it used to be. So, and also, our Facebook page always has good news, the adoptions, and also adoptable dogs and cats. So you want to check that out. And also sad stories, if you want to hear some sad stories.
Can't get around those. There's always a few sad ones.
They had 2 cats recently that they posted that had been found outside and kind of talking about what dangers cats get, and you think about this, how long do you stay outside? And some people put their dogs out and leave them all day long. And it's tragic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 2 of my dogs aren't even going outside. Don't tell the world though.
Well, especially in weather like this.
Yeah, Jorge hasn't been out for a week, but I put out potty pads. So don't. I can't blame him if like tonight it's gonna be, or today it's really cold. And those poor little paws.
I know. Well, so we have our Pause Pet of the Week that I'll be sharing here on our Facebook page momentarily, and check her out.
So no tour today.
No tour today, although that quilt is stunning. That is so good.
Thank you.
I really like that pattern.
I still have to put the binding on.
Okay. All right. So do you sell quilts quite a bit, Joann?
I do not sell my quilts. They're my babies.
Or special order quilts maybe once in a while?
They're my creations. I do make quilts for people that I love, but I don't really sell my quilts.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's your prerogative. I think I've told you before, my wife makes the t-shirt quilts, and she's made a lot of them.
Uh-huh.
Really, really good at it. So one of the things that she's done here in the last year or so was focusing on baby quilts. So when you have a newborn and you save those onesies and the special, little blankets over the first, 10 months or so of their life, they outgrow those pretty quickly, obviously. So instead of getting rid of those onesies, if you want to keep them as a keepsake, make them into a quilt. And she does a really good job with those.
So it's kind of a memory quilts.
Yeah.
Like the t-shirts too.
We've done a lot of them for high schoolers. She's done a lot of them for high schoolers and those who've been in different plays. You get a t-shirt for every play you've been in pretty much these days. So very, very cool memory, and keep you warm on these cold days like it's going to be in the next couple of days, because this advisory is starting at 6 tonight and going through noon tomorrow. Wind chills 30 to 35 below zero. Pretty much all of Northern.
Warm up with a quilt.
I got a couple of errands to run, and after I get back home, I'm done for the rest of the week.
I think what I wanted to say about my quilting is right now it's still a hobby. When you start selling things, it becomes a profession, and I want to keep it a hobby.
That's fair. I can understand that.
That's a good point.
Well, we're about ready to wrap things up today, but we do have a big number of the week.
Where's my big number?
You got credit for
I know.
by the way.
I know. I talked to Greg via instant message. I don't know what happens, and I got a new iPad, and my new iPad isn't anymore. My son-in-law is going to put a new battery in this one. He thinks that's what the problem is.
Okay.
But like today, because I stayed plugged in, I'm fine. All right, what's the big number? Come on.
I'm gonna go ahead and try the drum roll. And it's not even feeding back. That's
what was that?
Our big number of the week this week is 200 million. And the answer is cars or cameras. Cars or cameras. I'll hold up to the.
Where's our points?
I'll hold up to the camera our current score. Joann 6, Tom 5. 6
Ooh.
And here's my pen. All right, so give me your answer. Cars or cameras? 3, 2, 1.
Cameras.
Cars.
Ooh, all right.
You waited till I said mine.
So U.S. auto sales last year were down 15%, and they're dealing with a global semiconductor shortage, the result of millions schooling and entertaining at home. So manufacturers are slashing outputs, making assembly line industry look more like a dotted line. GM, Toyota, Honda, Volkswagen, Fiat, Chrysler, Nissan, Mazda, they all announced the first quarter production cuts. Ford is reducing F-150.
I think Tom's tied me.
And I think Tom's tied you, Joann. Auto companies cutting their production. Ford's bottom line expected to trim $1 to $2.5 billion this year. Output across the industry could drop by nearly 1 million vehicles. And yes, Tom is our big winner.
Yeah, baby.
Yay!
Whenever people want to make fun of a stodgy old corporation that could not see the future, they like to poke fun at Kodak. Whatever happened to Kodak, right? The camera maker Kodak was not the only one taken out by the digital camera revolution. All camera companies have now bowed to the iPhone. Last year, only 9 million cameras were sold. 10 years ago, in the year 2010, 122 million cameras were sold. Yikes. This according to Gigamon founder Malik. He says Apple moved over 200 million iPhones last year. Countless other cameras enabled smartphones, but the iPhone has sold about 1 billion units since it launched in 2007. So they lead the pack in smartphones sold. Of course, that include cameras.
Can you imagine your wedding photographer doing the camera thing like this with the phone? That'd be a little weird.
It would be, but knowing the quality of the iPhone cameras and even Samsung cameras, it's a possibility. I mean, I'd rather have someone using a good Nikon or Canon or something, but
No, yeah.
I know my niece, Chelsea, is a professional photographer. She still uses her, I think she's got a Nikon. I think she's got a couple Nikons, which take amazing shots. So why would you want to use anything else? But anyway, camera sales, Kodak, they need to do something else because they're in trouble. They're hurt. All right. Well, that's going to wrap up our show for the week. You change the world when you help one person. So be a blessing to someone this week. Check out meettheneed.org if you want to help someone directly. And maybe next week we'll all be able to hear each other more properly.
Yeah, no, I'll have
All right. Happy Valentine's Day.
For accommodating.
You got it. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Spread the love. Catch you next week.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.